This week's episode of Deck Chair and Yumz podcast is brought to you by princessphotography.com. Are you somebody in the spotlight that would like to be taken away? Have you been taken away? Are you in a coma? Are you dead? Were you taken down a long tunnel in Paris? And you want to prove to people that you're okay? Go to princessphotography.com where our staff member Catherine Middleton will foot there with your pictures and make sure that, that everybody believes you're still okay. Go to /Deck Chair and Yumz. What the fuck, kid? What's going on? For more information. Nev, play the fucking intro.
Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers?
Welcome back to this week's episode of Deck Chair and Yumz podcast with myself, Connor Keys, aka Yumz, without Deck Chair, aka Mickey Bartlett, who is still footering down under. But today we have a very special guest. We're delighted to welcome our set designer, the one and only Emma Millar. Emma, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Connor.
Now, normally what we do is we normally have a chair-based name for our guests. So you're on the...
I feel underprepared.
Well, you're underprepared and you're probably very limited on what's left.
On what's left?
Yeah,
right.
we have a lot of chairs. So basically, if an interior designer like yourself can't come up with a new chair name, well, then nobody fucking can. It's designed for you to come up with. So we've had all you can think of. We had we had Aaron Butler on the last episode, and he called himself the Sibian.
Oh, right.
I like the fact you didn't have to ask what that was. And
No.
is there one in the new house? No. So and then we've had Shay's Lounge, we've had the busted sofa, we've had the armchair, we've had all the different names. So
The armchair, that's very original.
I know. We had the rocking chair, which was Andy McGibbon, who's one of the only, you are along with Andy as one of the only non-comedian guests.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so he was a musician and now we have our designer. But yes, so you're very welcome.
Thank you.
This is your handiwork here.
This is my handiwork.
our,
not finished yet, but
not
we're
finished.
talking statues.
It's only us. Like, it only takes us about 3 years to do anything. But yeah, we're getting there. It's looking the part. I mean, the word you used was kitsch.
Kitsch.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
Explain to the listeners what kitsch means.
A little bit quirky, a little bit tacky, a little bit kitsch.
No, I meant like the word. I don't mean describe me and Mickey. I mean...
No, I have a few other words for that. I don't even know Mickey. I've never met him. So. Hello, Mickey.
Yeah, don't worry. Everything that you believe to be true is true. So yes, we told you before we got a bit of slagging from our listeners.
About the wallpaper.
Who told us that this looks like a 90s Chinese. You know, I kind of get that vibe, but I think now, yeah, kitsch. Yeah,
It all goes under the one umbrella. Yeah.
It's all kitsch.
You sure can. You don't even need to use your own hand.
So yes, this is ours. So thank you very much. So
You're welcome.
we said to you at the very start, we will get you on here as a guest to come and talk about your work and talk about yourself, but also just to sort of take the flak for the 90s Chinese.
I'll take it all. I've decorated a few 90s Chineses as well.
I would say you probably have. Well, this is the thing. So I mean, as an interior designer, I mean, this is a completely alien to me. Not a fucking clue. I am so not just colorblind, but also like blind to anything
Style,
fashion, aesthetics. I have no clue. I never had. I would have clothes on me that came into fashion again. You know what I mean?
I have a few of those
like I'm
too.
wearing them on the second cycle. And I'm like, oh shit, are these fashionable
Value for
now?
money.
Yeah, I wore a pair of trousers, a pair of cargo pants one day. And my daughter was like, oh my God, you're so trendy. I'm like, these are 15 years old. What do you mean trendy? And I should have said no. She went, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm
round
so
two.
trendy.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. So where did this start for you? I mean, am I right in saying somebody that does this sort of work has to be a artsy kind of person? Like
A creative, probably. Look, any kind of style, it comes down to what you like and what you don't. And that
I have
doesn't...
no idea what I like. What
It doesn't... No, but you know what
That's
you
what you're for.
You know what you don't like. No?
No, I really am so bad. Painters came to our house recently.
Right.
One of whom plays in our band. And we'll point that out too, that Emma also sings along with myself in The Committed. And the painter came along, Stevie, and was like, what colour is going where? And I was like,
Oh, Connor.
don't ask me. And he went, are you serious? He goes, and he said, the amount of houses we go to, men just go, I don't know.
No.
So thankfully I didn't get to, because what I thought the colours were completely the wrong way around. So
No,
yeah.
you need a paint schedule.
See, didn't even know there was such a thing.
There's a thing called a paint schedule.
So yeah, so that highlighted to me that I haven't a fucking clue. And when it was done, I was like, oh yeah, it looks lovely.
That looks well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not a clue. So was that your background? Is that your, like, what do you? I know obviously I'm not going to say anybody can be I don't mean that, but I mean anybody could go to venture into that field. But what is the actual sort of qualifications and the experience you need to do that? Is it art based or is it more?
Most of the interior designers I know aren't actually qualified as interior designers.
Right, okay.
Like I know geography teachers and different people who have had different jobs over the years. You're only as good as your last job. You don't need, well, it's better that you have those qualifications. If you want to get technical and you want to do technical drawings and all those things, you will need a background in that.
Yeah.
I have learnt that as I went along. My background was interior textiles. Okay. So, and then I came out of college on the Friday, started a full-time job on the Monday in Home Decor in Oma.
Oh, very good.
And ran their design department for nearly 10 years. And then decided I couldn't go any further. Was making lampshades, decided to do it for myself. But you have to have an eye for it. Colour's not something you can teach.
Obviously, no.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You know, you can go...
I cannot, like... I have a pair of trousers, right? That for my life, I would bet they're brown.
And they're probably green.
They're grey, apparently.
They're grey, all right. Look,
now, I had to throw them out.
Everybody sees colour so different. And like, is it 1 in every 3 men are colourblind?
I'm not colourblind. I know I can see colours,
Yeah.
but I genuinely was at this to the point where I couldn't wear them anymore because in my head, I was matching with brown. But the reality was they were grey. So
you looked a bit special.
I did look a wee bit special, yes. And so yeah, they went to the bin. But I mean, you must have had some experience of, like, when you're working in a decorating place. I mean, you're going to see all the.
My earliest memory of interiors is when I was, like, what age was I? When we lived in Sunningdale in Oma. I left there when I was 9, so it's probably about 6 or 7. And we had this lovely, me and my sister shared a room, and we had this lovely big room with a bay window. And my mum is hugely house proud, but our whole bedroom was wallpapered, right?
Okay.
And it was like pink and blue and lemon with clouds and like girly stuff all over it, right? So all the walls were papered. It was high ceilings, and we had Popples bedspreads. Remember the Popples? You won't remember them. If you're an 80s kid, you'll remember them. But we had Popples.
What the fuck is it?
No, but girls.
Oh, right, for girls, okay. Right.
They were like a bit like Care Bears, but
Popples?
Popples, the Popples. We had Popples bedspreads. We had the Popples rugs. We had lampshades. The ceiling shade was Popples. The curtains were pink velvet. And I just remember thinking we had the coolest room in the whole fucking park. That was just like, check out our room. And every child that came around was like, have you seen their bedroom? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. You know, and that's my first memory of wallpaper and interiors and stuff. And now, like, even whenever I decorated Nancy's room in my last house, my sister said to me, that wallpaper looks like the one we had in Sunningdale. And I was like, unwittingly, it actually did.
Just there in the back of your head,
it actually did.
comes through.
Oh my God. Apart from the glitter, yeah, it actually does. So I've always had that in me. I love colour. I've always loved colour. I've always loved pattern. And I say, that's not something I think you can teach. You either have that or you don't.
Yeah.
And it's putting things together in a way. And in my job, that the hardest part of my job is actually figuring out what's in somebody else's head.
Aye.
Because I walk away.
Yeah.
At the end of it.
Yeah, and I get that sometimes with even graphic designers. When it comes to posters and stuff for the they're like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know.
Just give me something.
Give me 3 different drafts and I'll decide which one I like.
Yeah.
Because I haven't a fucking clue. But like, we didn't have the same experience as yourself in Hunter's Crescent. We weren't really bringing people in to show them our bedroom.
I hope not.
What was the name of it? Chip, what was the name?
Wood chip?
Wood chip on the walls. Yeah, that was a fucking trying to remember. That's the last memory I have trying to scrape that shit off the walls. Was a fucking nightmare.
Shit.
But we had a themed bedroom in the sense that there was no theme. We had themed quilts. So I went to bed with Michael Jackson.
Oh, I loved Michael Jackson.
I had Michael Jackson. I know the cover of Bad.
Yeah.
I had that
with the 2 fists.
I had that on a bed quilt with the pillow.
I'm going to jump in there. I wrecked the whole scheme when I was about 8. And we had these 4 wardrobe doors, and I got this massive poster from Smash Hits. and it filled the 2 doors.
Maybe.
And my sister Kim absolutely hated him because she thought he was pervy even then.
Right.
So she wouldn't get dressed in the room with the poster on the wall, on the wardrobe. So we actually put it across 2 doors and cut the bit down the middle. So whenever the 2 doors went together, Michael Jackson was there with his 2 fists up, and she was like, "I'm getting dressed in the spare room." Little did we know.
Little did we know. But yeah, so I had that, and my brother had bros. Do you remember bros?
Oh, when will I be famous? I loved
I
it.
don't know what that says about us.
No.
But it was the 80s. We were young, you know what I mean? We didn't know. But yeah, so I mean, that was like, there was no sort of style in our house in that sense. But I don't think anybody in Hunter's Crescent. I remember my ma. I thought of this the other day. I thought of this the other day. My ma kind of was a bit quirky in what she was, you know, and wanted to do something different. So she got, one of our next door neighbours was a painter. And I'll never forget it. She got them to do, I don't even know what you would call it. It was painting on the wall, right? But it was
a mural.
No, it was done like,
Rag roll.
wasn't even a rag roll. It was like, I don't know what way to describe it. It was like wee small tiny brush strokes, really really small brush strokes, but 3 colours. So it was like neon green, neon pink. And then this mad yellow, right? I think it lasted a week, right? Because every time you opened the fucking kitchen door, you had sunglasses on. Fucking
Sunny delight.
Fucking blinded at night time. And I never forget. I don't know if anybody, obviously back in the day, there would have been no photographs, so nobody would have took photograph of it, but I wish they had But it came into my head the other night when I was thinking about painting and interior. Like, what the fuck do you remember that? It was like so bright, but that was out there for Hunter's Crescent, obviously, where we lived.
Out there for many places.
For anybody, that's why it had to be painted over.
No, that's my first memory of interiors was in there, and like mum was always into colours and pattern, and was always a really snappy dresser and really stylish dresser. And then when I went to Belfast, I went to do like textiles and interiors and stuff, and
so that was an actual subject you were doing.
So
it was
I
an actual
studied
degree,
textiles.
like,
I'd be honour in textiles, and then it was interior installations I specialised in. So I was making fabrics and different things. But when I was a poor student, I decided to take on a job, and one of the jobs was costume assistant for the BBC.
Right.
So I used to iron Uncle Andy's Union Jack boxers
Mighty.
for £20 an hour
Deadly.
in 2005.
That's fucking unreal.
That was good going.
That's some claim to fame there, right now.
And so I could have been doing anything. I was doing stuff for the Lyric and making wedding dresses and sewing, and I just knew I needed to do something creative, and I didn't know if I wanted to do costume design or what. I was doing merchandising for Gap as well, all their windows. And then I decided, no, I wanted to do interiors. I went home for, inverted commas, a year, thinking I would go away to London or something a year later, and got a job in a paint shop in Oma, and was there 9 years later.
Mad, isn't it?
And discovered that I actually loved interiors and was good at it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like work. I absolutely love my job, and I can't understand these people that go to a job that they don't like.
Yeah, it is that old saying, isn't it? If you get paid to do something you love, you'll never work.
You never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And like there's days when I could fire the paint chart at the wall or hit it off somebody's head, but for the most part, I love my job, and you have to. I think if you're self-employed and you don't love what you do, you're on a road to nowhere.
Yeah. Well, the comedians would say the same. That's their dream to get doing it. You know what I mean? And well, I mean, obviously, I'm still tied to a job, but someday.
For now.
Someday. But yeah, it's a weird thing that not too many people have that experience. And it's not until you're doing, I started doing the comedy and things, that you realize that people really don't like going to their job.
No.
I understood people don't like, but they're just not interested in it. So it must be so soul destroying just to go in every day and just
Imagine
well, we
having
know
to
what
do
the
that.
point is, just for fucking bills to get paid and
Bills
stuff. But
and security and whatever else. I know, but you know what? You don't grow in comfort zones. Like, you have to get out of
that's
it. And like, I quit my job on a Saturday. My husband at the time was on a golf course, and I didn't tell anybody. I just handed in my notice at 5 o'clock. And me and Dino and Pee Wee were playing bogans that night. And I was like, I know, good luck here. I'm away. Handed in my notice. And my sister actually paced the floor that much. I was like, you're going to have a whole... She's like, you need to go and talk to Daddy. I had to go around and tell, we call him the Don. You need to go and tell Daddy he's going to lose the plot. My dad was like, took you long enough?
Only took you 9 years.
That was literally what he said, and I was like, okay. So as long as my dad was happy, that was fine. But no, I went and played Bogans that night, and I had £13 in the bank.
Mad, isn't it?
And I remember standing one night at the patio doors, and I was just standing there looking. I was like, what have I done? Like most people would save a bit or something, before you quit your job.
Yeah.
But what else does that saying? Necessity or creativity breeds necessity, or necessity breeds creativity, whatever. You just get on with it.
You have to.
And it's amazing what you can do without. And
but it's amazing too, like people, how all of us as humans can be resilient and adapt to change. Like, well, look, some people can't adapt to change. Maybe that's one of their biggest weaknesses. But I do believe that you'll go so far in your life whenever you are able to adapt. Because if you think it's going to stay the same, it's never going to stay the same. Always going to change. Yeah. So well, you briefly mentioned there about playing the band. So this is the other. The other relationship we have, which in a professional basis, of course, is with the Committed. So we've been playing now.
How many years is that? I was talking about this the other day. Is it 5?
I think it's 6. We don't count COVID, obviously, the year we had to cancel. So 2018 was the first.
Was it? Mm-hmm. Wow.
December 2018. So, So I mean, you're one of the
10.
One of the, well, I was going to say 10, yeah, but one of the 3 backing singers, as well as lead vocals, obviously, because you all have things. Yeah. But that's been an experience. I haven't. You were saying there you were playing in Bogans, so I mean, what was the gap for you time wise? Were you still playing whenever
No. So Nancy will be 10 in September, so it's 10 years past on Boxing Night that I stopped playing.
Oh, okay.
Because I found out I was pregnant on Christmas Day.
Right.
And then my last gig was Boxing Night in McGinn's. And that was my last gig. So that would have been 10 years ago past. And then there was different wee things going on, like wee wedding things and whatever. But no, for the most part, I hung up the mic way back then. And it wasn't until I got cornered one night by Michelle in Bogan's Bar about, come here. And I only really knew Michelle from choir in school years ago. Michelle's a bit younger than me, like. And she was like, come here. And she was trying to get my eye every so. And I was like, what? She said, can I have a wee word with you? And I was like, no. I don't know. What's it about? I'd be very no. So she cornered me and out to the smoking area to have a discussion about this. And I was like, I should no bother. And then nothing really happened, or nobody really done anything for a while. And then I got a phone call. Was it from you or Nardo? I can't remember. About, come here, we're actually doing this. And I was like, oh, so what's happening then? She wasn't just blocked.
I know, and this is the thing. When I think about it now, about where it came about from, I know why I wanted to go back to do some singing was because of comedy. Because I was traveling home from gigs, and to keep me awake at night time, I was singing, and then my voice kind of came back. I've told that story before, but I think one of the biggest faults we had was doing it once a year. Yeah. So for the first 3 years, we only appeared one time per year, and after the 11th month to come back again to rehearse, we're like, oh, for fuck's sake!
I know, it felt like
starting
going
from
back
scratch
to the
again. So we've done what, maybe we've done 5 gigs last year, which is mental for us.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That was a lot. Too much to take, actually.
I know.
And
but
then
it was like practicing.
Yeah.
That's the way we looked at it. It was like paid practicing.
Yeah, and it was great because we got through the Empire, and then we did Limelight there as well, and so. Those venues, and then obviously we've done all the iconic OMA venues, as in the ANF.
Yeah, that was
Kellyclar Hall.
The ANF was actually probably my favorite one.
It's unreal. It's actually, we've said this before, but it's a great music venue.
Yeah.
It should be used a lot more. Like, should be used all the time. But they actually said a very interesting point to me when I said that to them. They were like, "Yeah, but there's no more big bands."
No, there's really not.
Like we're big.
Well,
fucking 10-piece is big. But they were saying in general, there's no bands more than 4-piece. There's nobody, bringing brass section or bringing back. That's kind of like the show band thing is kind of a dead thing. Yeah. But I think it's we've proven like there's definitely scope for it to come back.
Oh, there's big time. Yeah. Sure, look at the Limelight, like there, and the Empire. It was brilliant, and we filled them halls.
Yeah, and it was surreal to be in Belfast.
Oh, unreal.
And to get that crowd
to say that we played them.
And shout out to our patrons who turned up that night. Thank you very much, as always. But yeah, it's been an interesting thing for me because I told you about the first time we played in 2018. Was in the Silver Birch Hotel downstairs in Lola's, the big room, and I think we had something like 300 people or something, and I think 200 of them thought I had written a play about the Commitments.
Did they actually?
Swear to God, they thought, because remember I had done the plays
Yeah,
in Oma,
yeah.
so then they seen me advertise this. They never connected me with singing at all because I hadn't sang in
Yes, of
public.
course, yeah.
So then they thought they were coming to a written version of the commitments that I had written as a show.
Were they disappointed? Or
And then
not?
I was like, what the fuck do you think I was going to do with Stevie Chester's? What was he going to be? was Stevie going to be acting? Like
Jerome.
Stevie doesn't talk, or Jerome doesn't talk. So no, they were very surprised. Whenever,
I didn't know
they
that.
had no idea. They came out and thought my family knew.
Yeah.
That was the thing that shocked me about it when I heard that. I was like, how do you not know that I sing? And then I thought, oh, it's been 18 years since I sang in public.
Yeah, and you know what? You were asking me how many years it had been between my last gig and the committed gig. Probably 5, I think. 18 when Nancy was born. No, 4. Just over 4. And that's a long time to not be on stage either.
Yeah.
When you're singing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like
I've sang at like weddings.
Aye.
So
But they
that
don't
was my
count.
thing. All my family know because any family event or music called
they think
up
you're
or
a
whatever.
jukebox.
Yeah.
Every time there's a family party, Connor wants to sing.
I
now.
don't sing much thanks, Alan. Like, for
No,
fuck's
Connor doesn't.
sake. So I always knew it, but it was a shock of, again, I suppose it's your own ego, isn't it? I was like, how do you not know that
I know.
And then I was like, oh yes, because I don't do it. That's why you don't know.
But even people now, like on Instagram and different things, like, oh my God, you sing? I'm like, yeah, I do actually.
Which is nice because it shows that you're known for something else.
Yeah,
And say
you
for me
know-
with a comedy, it was like, what, you can sing? I was
You
like,
know,
yeah.
and it's only these last couple of years I really started putting things up or putting videos up because I really just don't care anymore. And I just post things and people are like, oh my God. So they've been really, really well received and people like actually come onto the Belfast gigs that I don't know, obviously, on the back of Instagram and stuff. So it's nice.
Because this is the thing we should point out as well. I mean, I don't like using the term influencer because I don't think it's a proper fucking job.
It's not, well,
Or yeah, but I'm saying is I've always had this thing that you can't. Personally, you can't be an influencer if you've no skill.
no.
See these people who are popular in inverted commas, who open things.
I know.
That's their
I
skill
can't cope
to
with that.
shop and open bags. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So somebody like yourself, interior design, or even music or comedy or drama or
Yeah.
art or whatever it is,
Yeah.
even fucking DIY. If there's a skill,
Oh, DIYs,
absolutely
yeah.
put the video up. But you sitting just because all my friends
No.
love me and I just went shopping for the day and
Yeah.
here's what I bought. No, go and fuck off.
Oh, cringe.
Yeah, and it is a weird one because like I see some, even locally or whatever, maybe not so much locally in Oma, but there used to be, but people, and you could understand if somebody was under like a paid partnership or an ad, but they're not. So they're just
They're just buying
and then
stuff.
making this.
I'm probably leaving it all back. I always wondered, do they just get a credit card and put it all on the credit card and then like return it all?
the
People
whole
think
thing,
that they have all these clothes.
Exactly. That's the
I'm
perfect
not
thing.
smart enough to return it all.
Well, that's that would be
I
my
just
problem
keep
too.
it.
But
But,
they're-
you know, I know, I just, yeah. Like I've done a couple of different partnerships with Minaris and different, I don't know if I'm allowed to say them or not. But anyway.
This is our podcast. You can say whatever.
say
the
whatever I
fuck
want.
you want. Yeah.
But
You can even say fuck.
those are paid ones, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, but I'm very funny about things. Like, not that I
But
do.
even that, because again, I know, like I said earlier, I know fuck all about fashion, but because you have that eye, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. An interior designer,
Well-
sort of linking fashion and the clothes and all the. I get that. It's
Yeah.
just what I'm saying is the people who just have nothing to do in their day,
Yeah.
but just think that if I go up here now and open bags or
Open
open
bags.
whatever shit, I'm gonna be influenced. You know, it's just.
And what's different about that?
It's just
No, actually, I love fashion. I love clothes. I did personal shopper for a couple of years in Belfast. I used to dress men.
no way.
That was one of my jobs.
Like fucking like Rachel, her friends, when she does this thing. Did you
Yeah.
have to actually do that?
I
Personal
did
shopper?
that. Yeah, I did that for a while.
So how does that work? Does somebody book you? Like, did you book an appointment and then
Yeah.
you just
So-
come and go wear that, wear that, wear that?
Yeah.
Mighty. What a
So I
job.
like literally take them shopping with their. Well, they pay for it. But they have to try it on. They have to like it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I literally put you in a changing room, and I'm like, I don't want to hear no. You're gonna try X, Y, and Z. And they're like, no, that's not really something I would wear. Is it not? Put it on. Don't say
You'd
no.
love that fucking
I
fire.
love
You'd
it.
love it.
Love it.
And so it was men only. That was that. just
Mostly
the
men. No, there was a
department?
couple of different. I only did it for like a year and a half, but
Oh, okay.
excuse me, I only did it for like a year and a half, but a couple of girls.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But mostly men, yeah, for dates or for weddings or
Yeah.
for, for like professional things or like workwear and things that just maybe had no idea about putting things together.
See things like that then. No, this is really boring. Like, but I think, do you get commission for that? The more you would, like, if you were, would you get more commission if you sold a higher brand to somebody,
Well,
or
I wasn't because I was working in Gap at the time, if they come into Gap, I was just selling them clothes
Yeah.
and that was it. But if they wanted me to take them anywhere else, like they would just pay me a flat fee for a few hours
No, I don't know. Yeah.
and I just take them wherever.
What a job. Again,
What a job.
not really a job.
What a job. Like, I love spending other people's money. It's great. Still doing it. And when I have to spend my own, that's when I don't like it.
Yeah.
But no, the fashion thing is, yeah. I love fashion. I love clothes. I love pattern. I love colour. I love dressing up. I love life's a stage. Stop saving the good clothes. You know, just wear them.
Yeah.
But that collab with Minari started because the buyer for Minari's drops her kids to school the same time as I drop Nancy to school, and every morning she's like, "Oh my god, like how do you get dressed like that in the morning?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like I just do."
You get up at
She's
half,
like,
you get up at 5:30, do you?
"Can you just wear some of my clothes if we do something?" And that's how that started. She was
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
she does all the buy-in, and she was like, "Come in, pick whatever you want, and try it on, style it your way, and see how we get on." So we did that a few times. It was actually about this time last year. And it went really well. It was really well received. And there were, like, I think out of Minari's reels last year, my four of my reels are the top reels.
Maybe.
So it's mad. People buy into a lifestyle. They buy into a...
But they also have a level of trust.
I
they
won't advertise everything.
No, exactly. They trust you because they know you've shown a bit of discernment and you're not really just taking anything and everything that's coming.
And it's local brand.
And it's local. Yeah.
I'm big about local.
Yeah. So that is the other thing. You're also involved with the Chamber of Commerce, and you're involved because you have a business in the town centre.
That's right.
Which is Dollywood Interiors. So that we make sure we do the plug, because if we don't do the plug now, I'm going to forget the end of it. We're going to leave here and go, for fuck's sake, we didn't do a plug. So
Yeah.
Dollywood Interiors,
Yes.
Old Marketplace, am I right?
Old Marketplace, yeah. Back market.
The back market. Don't check for the black, the
The black market? No.
or the back market. She can't get you anything from the black market. But so yeah, that's your base. That's your
That's
home
where
thing.
I'm based, yeah.
But I mean, when I took my wife in recently, and I was like, "Get you the fuck out of here now!" Because
You weren't in
everywhere
very
she turned to,
long.
oh my god, look at that! I was like, "Get the fuck out!"
Out.
I could just see my bank statement just draining as I was sitting in there. Yeah, taking her in there was a very, very bad idea. So, but it's obviously, because you obviously are showing all the wares.
It's a showroom.
It's really fucking cool, and it's really well, obviously, really well done.
Yeah, so that we've been there now. I've been there now 3 years, and it's. I think the landscape of the high street is changing so much. It's getting so much more expensive for businesses to operate. So I would say, like 2 years time, that'll probably all be operating from my house. Will be the plan, because it's a massive showroom. Right. You know, it's a lovely showroom. We have a retail unit downstairs. We have a storeroom on the other side, studio, presentation area. And people now who are building want to spend that wee bit more on their house, I think, because they don't want to get it wrong.
Well, that's it. That's such a long-term thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's a lovely showroom, and I love our showroom. I love what we've done with it. I love where it is. But I think it's just getting harder and harder for businesses to stay there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I don't know how town centre's going to survive in general.
It's just crazy, you know. But no, I'm all for local business. I love to support local business. Every Christmas I will buy everything on Oma High Street. I buy vouchers mostly for everybody. I take the easy way out. Sure, what do you need at 40 years of age? Just, get a voucher, you can buy it yourself. But I buy everything local where I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
The very rare thing I would buy online or have to go somewhere else. But no, support local, and yeah, I'm all for that.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it's a town centre's an ongoing debate across everywhere.
Yeah.
I think the high street in general across the whole UK and Ireland is struggling.
Yep.
And it is the Amazons and all the other things.
God,
and I'm as guilty as anybody else. I've used Amazon for things,
Yeah, I use Amazon too for certain things.
Yeah, the things I can't get.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no... But I do worry about... Not even so much business owners, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm saying that it's cyclical, normal. Business come and go. That's the nature of it. But when it feels like they're being pushed out by corporations and big chains, that's the fear.
Yep.
That local element is gone then, and it's what that local element does in regards to the economy. Because here's a good example: is you go to... I was going to say I can't name places, but I fucking can. Argos or Marks and Spencer's or Next and place, right? As a charity, if we're going working for community work, asking for donation.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go to head office in Belfast.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, but you're in Oma, taking money from Oma people.
Yeah.
Can we not? No, you have to go to head office.
Yeah.
Whereas local business, you go in
They're
there.
through the door,
they're
cap in hand, 50 quid a time.
And they're always so amenable and always... So that's where I always think the local thing is changed.
Support
but
them.
yet, Yet, even with that, people still go to the next or whatever. You know,
Oh, right.
we've seen another local long-term retail clothing place closing down now as well
That's right.
in Oma, and again a stalwart for like 25 years
That's
or
right.
something. You know, so it's changing a lot, and it's gonna.
A lot.
I don't think it's gonna be over yet. I don't know how many more coffee shops we can take, for instance. It used to be it was all bars and like
And hairdressers.
and hairdressers, and now
Now it's gyms and coffee shops.
now it's gyms, coffee shops, and Turkish barbers. I don't know,
know,
what the
I
fuck is
know.
going
What
on.
is
I don't
that
know what
about?
is happening. But yeah, it is a strange one because I mean I've like obviously a lot of time for Oma, obviously my hometown, but spent many a year in the town. I actually was, believe it or not, I'm just completely contradicting what I said at the start of the podcast, but I was very interested in fashion when I was younger
Oh,
because my grandmother was a dressmaker
right.
and they had a shop in the town centre.
Did she use you as a mannequin? Were you the model?
Let's just say, if there had been any plus size ladies that were looking for dresses for formals, I may have put one on. No joke. Recently, actually, and I have the photograph there somewhere. About 2000, well, she passed away in 2017. So around about 2015, she was doing alterations for priests' over gown, whatever. I don't know what you call it, the garments. And it was a hem job about taking it up, so
You
it had
had
to
to wear
be, and I had to wear it. And I got the photograph of me, and I was
Oh,
like,
please.
Granny, have you ever been happier than seeing me as a priest? That's what you wanted all your life. But yeah, her and her sister had a dressmaking shop, so they made all the formal
Wow.
dresses and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So as soon as I finished school in primary school, I was straight down to the town because my mum worked in there
okay.
until the bus at
I
5:30.
could picture you as a real flamboyant.
Oh,
fashion
I
designer.
the pin cushions and everything going.
Gautier.
Yeah, I love it. And the
Gautier
patterns,
keys.
because I still to this day can understand patterns.
Aye, yeah.
Just because of watching so many, and then
Yeah.
can I cut it out? You know, doing all that
Oh,
sort of
aye,
shit.
yeah.
And it was amazing the stuff you learned, you know, from that just one shop.
Sewing is such a day in art. Like, we used to teach sewing way back when Joanne and I first started. We used to teach sewing. My dad had given me a bit of money to start up the business, and I went and bought all these sewing machines. And we used to teach sewing and how to make cushions and different things. But one year, what age was Nancy? About 5, 6, and I have several sewing machines in the house, and I would do all my own alterations and sew holes and whatever. And she wanted a sewing machine, so I thought, well, she's 6, like she's not getting a real one. So I got her one from Santa, and she informed me that it was crap, that it didn't actually sew anything, and the thread didn't go through it. And she wasn't using it, so she was completely disgusted. So
She was not happy.
she was not a happy camper. So I thought, right, well, jack that. I'm going to have to just show her how to use
Yeah.
the real one, supervised. So that's what I did. So her and I would sit at the table, and like, she doesn't know how to do patterns or anything yet, but she knows how to sew, and she can
that's it.
fold things, and it's a day in art, and
It's
even
dying art, but
dressmaking.
they're also in general. It's for younger people today. They're life skills.
Yeah.
I remember being in the Cub Scouts, right? I was a beautiful Cub Scout, as
I
you
would
imagine.
say.
Oh, I was beautiful. But even simple things like darning a sock.
Yeah.
Should I show my
Sewing
age by
on a
saying
button.
Darning a sock.
Darning a sock.
Darning a sock. And sewing on a button, yeah. Simple
Nobody
things you
knows
were
how to do
taught.
that.
Yeah, nobody knows anymore. Like, they
I
were simple
remember-
life skills that we were shown.
Yeah.
That at the time I was like, I'll never fucking need this. But then I thought, there was times I was like, oh, I can fix this sock. You know, it was so mad. Like,
I have
now
a
you just go to
basket.
Primark and buy another pair, you know, but
I
yeah.
have a basket in my dressing room, and if I put on something there's a hole in it, I'll take it back off and put it into the basket. And every so often, I'll take the basket down, set up a sewing machine, and start fixing them. And I remember a friend of mine coming in one time, and I was fixing the pockets. You know the way your pockets get holes in them?
Yeah.
And she came in, she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm fixing the pockets in the coat. And she's like, why? I said, because I really like the coat, and I want to fix the pockets and everything that's going down into the bottom of the coat. I was like, why, what would you do with yours? Just like bin it. I was like, bin your coat because there's holes in
A
it?
hole in the pocket, like, you know what I mean?
Rise up.
Yeah.
No,
it's crazy.
I don't agree with that. I don't like waste.
So what has happened recently then, once my granny passed away, it's amazing how much you miss a service, if you want to call it that, a service like that. When she passed away, like going, it was so alien to me because all my life, being bigger, obviously, it was there was always alterations made. Even in secondary school,
Yeah.
blazers and stuff, I was wearing fucking men's blazers that were down here
Yeah.
just to fit the fucking
Just fit
chest.
across.
And so she was always fixing things. And then when she passed away, it was like, oh, fuck, where do we go now? Like, it was so...
Nobody doing it.
And we went, where did we go summer? some woman in the town and we wanted to get something, or we need to get something taken up, and the fucking cost of it.
I swear to God.
And because we always said to our granny, if you had a charge decent, you'd be a millionaire at this
I know.
stage. The amount of
Totally.
Irish dancing costumes, dresses, and wedding or bridesmaid dresses and formals, you'd have
my
made
God.
a mint. But she was such a community person; she wouldn't charge them anything, and
No.
it's mad. Like, it was
I
really
got a
crazy.
pair of trousers taken up last year for Nancy into a pair of shorts. £17.
We had a
Right.
couple of hems done for like 26 or something, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
No. There's nobody in it.
So because of that, because we have obviously you know about Ruby, so in our circumstance with Ruby, we have to try and get all-in-one costumes because like our father, she likes to take her clothes off in public, and
Exhibitionist.
yeah, she loves it, likes to get the titties out for everybody. So because of that, then we had to buy, but the fucking these outfits we were buying, which were specialized sort of outfits that zip up from the back and all this sort of stuff, they were like 45 quid a time, and we might need 2 a day. You know, from mistakes and accidents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my wife Emer then went to a sewing class, bought a sewing machine, did all that sort of stuff. Exactly what you're saying.
Good
And
one,
now
Emer.
you would find her the odd time altering costumes or garments, and now she's creating
Jumpsuits.
onesies. She's creating jumpsuits out of tracksuit bottoms, t-shirt, combining them together and doing the whole, you know.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. But that's a skill, and I'm so glad it's got back now because
Oh
I don't
my
have to pay
God.
nobody else to do it.
And it will, not too.
Yeah.
But
But
no, it's crazy. Even upholstery and everything.
Yeah,
Curtain
all that stuff.
making.
Yeah.
Like, I'm finding that even with my job, it is a day in art.
Yeah.
And
my
there's nobody
my
wants
granny
to
and
do
her
it.
sister, so my granny was very much the embroidery in regards to Irish dancing and formal dress up, but her sister then, hers was mainly upholstery. She was very much upholstery and recovering things.
See the cost
But she
of that
couldn't do it
now?
now. Obviously, she's a lot older, but yeah, it's so
Crazy.
expensive.
Oh my God. And the reason being, there's nobody doing it.
Nobody did it. And like, as again, like we said to her, if you had a charged even remotely close to, no, I'm not saying being extortionate and rip the piss.
No.
But just instead of taking a pound, take a fiver. You know what I mean? A pound, like sometimes I've heard it, and like it's unbelievable, and it's unbelievable the people that will come in and haggle
I know.
in her living room, and I'm sitting there going, "You fucking," you know,
No.
this is years ago when
I
I was
know,
younger, like
but-
whatever. But and then there was a certain time of year where she didn't really admit this. Certain time of year where we always made sure we were at Granny's house.
Oh, right.
Especially when we were like 14, 15, 16.
Right.
Because that was when the girls came to try on the formal dresses. And whilst we weren't allowed upstairs for the changing, we were in the living room for the catwalk.
We pretend to model.
We were just watching, sitting in the corner quietly, saying nothing.
Researching.
Yeah. I remember one time looking up going, when's Nicola Hoy in?
Oh. There's probably a queue out the door that day.
And Nicola's probably going, what the fuck are you doing here for? I'm like, I'm doing nothing.
I sew.
I'm holding a pin
Here's
cushion.
I'm darning a sock.
But it was mad, like, and she was the go-to person, like. But again, it's just sort of like you always come into her house covered in threads, and
Yeah.
and there's simple things that I took from that now that if you were to say to people, they wouldn't have a clue. You know, an overlocker. What the fuck?
An overlocker,
You
I know.
But we knew exactly where, you know, which machine it was and where it was and what it
aye.
did, and
Unreal. People, they just don't know now.
no, pink and shear scissors. and
Oh,
like,
Pink and Shears. I always loved that
Yeah.
title.
Pink and shears. I don't know why they're called pink and shears, but they are. So there were things just that, yeah. So I could have been, if I hadn't been as badly abused as a mannequin, I
Pincushion. Oh, you pincushion.
I might have actually went down the yeah. It could have been Oma's CK instead of Calvin
How
Klein.
did you never learn how to tie a dicky bow properly then?
Thing is,
Because every night we have a commitments gig. It's like, Emma, can you fix my bow tie?
fucking cunt of a thing. And it's the same. It gets me in the same place every time.
Oh, aye.
Just the last and like D Graham, fair play to D Graham, gave me a video and all and showed me
did
that.
he?
Oh, give me a tutorial and everything, and I've got it all down except that last bit,
bit. It
which
is
is
tricky.
the most important bit. I seen somebody put up on Instagram going, "Why is this fucking bow tie always unopened? That doesn't make any sense." And I'm like, well, if you think about it and look at the size of me, it does make sense. It means it was buttoned at one time,
It
but the
was.
heat was so fucking much. By song 2, it's opened.
I know.
Just let me
By
breathe.
song 2, then song 1. Connor's like, oh, are you on yet?
Let me breathe. Looking at her going, when's
When
your
are you
song?
singing?
Yeah. You notice the last time I changed the set list around a wee bit just so to give me
I
a bigger
did.
break.
I was song 3.
I wasn't on for 5 songs. I was like, this is great. But just to go and dry myself. But yeah, there's, I mean, Windsor knots is the other thing. So she did teach us about ties and Windsor knots and all that sort of stuff. But it was, we have our own gokwan within the family.
Oh.
So my uncle, who is the style guru, was in charge of all ties, and whenever weddings were on, he'll do the ones or nots.
Right.
In the INF, I asked him to do the bow tie because he's our go-to Gok Wan.
Cock.
Now, Cock Wan had, or Wan Cock, had 6 Jameson and Gingers in him at this stage.
Well, this would have been
So
good.
even Cock Wan couldn't do the fucking couldn't do
He
the
was
Dickie
one
Bowl that
cock,
night.
right?
He was one cock-eyed. So yes, I had to suffer and learn. But I you won't believe this because you've seen me in action. But in days leading up to it, I'm at the fucking house practicing, trying to get this thing because I know it takes up so much time.
I know.
Of
On the
mine
night.
on the night that I'm trying to get right. It's just. I do believe the fat fingers. I blame the
Would
fat
you not
fingers
just
for.
get one that's already done?
You see, I used to have a great one, right? I used to have one that was it belonged to Cockwan, but I lost it on him. Sorry. It was clip at the back, but it was normal at the front, so you could
right.
tie it, basically have it tied and then clip it on you
Clip it on.
and still open it. I always liked it to
Right.
be open. Otherwise, you just gotta stay standalone
Aye,
one.
yeah.
So I like that kind of fucking Frank Sinatra look of
Aye,
the
where
thing
two
hanging down.
pieces. Aye.
But if you don't get the right one, it's not worth. So that's where I lost it, and I can never actually find another one. I've searched all online. You can get loads of pre-made ones with
Yeah.
but to get an
One that
actual
clips
one
at
with
the
a clip
back.
at the back is
Your
very
granny
rare.
probably made it.
She probably fucking. You know what? She probably did.
Bet you she did. She probably doctored it.
Emer, you'll be next.
There you go.
There you go. That's the next
It's a
fucking job.
niche.
I tell you, it is. There's something because especially now there is a new trend, I suppose you call it, of Dickie bows.
Oh, aye.
You see them at weddings and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
aye.
I assume
Big
they're
time.
all clip ones. They're not. Yeah. So nobody's actually learning the skill of fucking doing it
Well,
up.
I don't think these like young lads now in suits. Like it's
Yeah.
like the Peaky Blinders, all that whole resurgence of everything on all the waistcoats and all that.
No socks and all.
And oh no, I can't cope with the no socks. But
Can't do that.
like it's just like go way on home there now and get
The
your
worst thing is, right, this is when I was in London 24 years ago, 23 years ago, that was the big thing then in London.
no socks.
No socks. So all the fucking white boys, all the cockneys, all had the Burberry on and the Stone Island, and they're all wearing no
And the wee
socks.
short trousers.
Aye. And so I was like, fuck, if you walk down Tyrone wearing that there, you'd be. And now I walk down Tyrone and going, holy fuck, it's
I
here.
know. It is.
It took 20 years, but it's here.
know.
Like,
No,
fucking
it's a bit
unbelievable.
sad.
But I was just, my only thing is, what the fuck does your feet smell like?
I know. No, they've trainer socks on.
Did they? I was
Apparently so.
apparently, but
Footsies.
I know a boy who didn't one time and took his shoes off, and I swear to God,
Oh,
I
God.
could have emptied the fucking wedding. But anyway, that's for another day. Thankfully, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, the
No.
residence bar, so it was all right. But yeah, so I mean, well, back to the original point of the interior. I mean, you are currently
Yeah.
in the middle of creating Dollywood.
Yeah.
Which
So
I think your followers have labelled it Dollywood.
Dollywood. No, I christened it
Oh, you
Dollywood.
just okay, right?
Yeah.
So this is your new premises, your new home.
This is my new house. I bought a 1964 split level bungalow last summer and didn't tell anybody. Literally. My dad.
From the theme of this podcast, it sounds like you do that a lot.
I'm a little bit impulsive, can you tell? So my poor dad was putting a floor down in the staff room next door, and I had just went round and got sale agreed in this house and didn't tell anybody. And I'm trying, I said, like, I'm 41, and he was like, I was like, Daddy, I think I've done a thing.
I think I've done a thing.
And he was like, Emma, do I need to stay on my knees, darling? And I was like, maybe. And he was like, what? And I was like, I bought a house. He's like, what? What? Where? Have I seen this house? I was like, no. Has anybody seen this house? I was like, no. Where is this house? I was like, out the Gorton Road. He's like, get into that van. I got marched to the van at the front of the shop like a 10-year-old. And I said to Sarah next, I was like, I'm going to be back in half an hour. And into the van, and we went to the house, and he stood at the bottom of the garden with his arms folded, and he looked at me. He's like, Emma, I know you have a vision, darling, but I was like, I know, but you told me the same thing 3 years ago when I took you to Dollybird, and there wasn't even a floor. And he just looked at me, and he was like, right, well, okay, I did. And I was like, so? He's like,
And do you know what he was doing at that time? He was calculating how much work he has to do.
He is there every day with his packed lunch. I'm not joking.
Fucking
He's
brilliant.
there for 9:30 every day with his packed lunch. Mummy says he uses it as a retreat centre. because he has to leave her every day.
Your mom's probably over the moon. Get you out
No.
the fuck somewhere.
Maybe it works. It works very well.
You see women sometimes doing that at the men's shed.
Yeah.
They come to the men's shed and there's a man 3 feet behind them going, and she's like, fucking take
Take
him
him.
and do something with him.
Take him.
All these retired men with all this time to do. Yeah.
No, and like he's loving life, and only for him, he's been unbelievable. Like, but no, so I moved in. I got the keys in early September. Moved in the week before Christmas, and it's still part of it's like a building site. Mm-hmm. But, it's 10-minute walk from the town centre.
Deadly.
It'll be so handy for all the after parties and the birches after, for all these feature gigs that we're going to do, Connor.
That could be fucking dangerous. That actually.
But it's like it's 1964 with a real 70s feel to it. It's real retro modern. So there's big long like letterbox windows at the front of it, and big
Could we use the word kitsch?
kitsch little, and I want to paint it pink.
Of course you do.
Very, very pale.
Get my ma. She knows a
pink.
boy that can do neon pink.
That's right. Oh, and the dash.
Neon the dash.
Have to get that.
I must ask her what that was. It might have been brushstroke, but there was a name for it at the time. But I don't know there was certain painting. I don't know what it was. But so I mean that's going to be a project.
That's a
It is a
project.
project.
It
But
is. It's a lifetime
But it's
project.
also a
But
home.
it's going to be like when I move my studio there in a couple of years' time. It's going to be my showroom.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So there's ceilings being dropped at the minute and walls being the plasterers in today. They're back in tomorrow. And I have to get it to a certain stage so I can put all the floors down. And it's like a schedule, I call it. It is a schedule.
Right, okay.
And Daddy gives me a schedule. Now, I need to be out of there for the end of March. So we need this done, that done. I'm like, yes, Dad. Okay.
Here, listen. He sounds like a fucking very good foreman.
Do you know what? He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. But no,
It
it'll
costs you
be
a fortune to hire somebody like that.
unreal.
Right.
But it's a work in progress. I'll be there. That'll be me for life.
Aye.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's it, yeah.
It will be lovely.
I have no doubt.
will be lovely.
Seeing some of your work, as you can see here. So listen, thank you very much for coming in. We normally finish off
welcome.
with questions.
Oh, God.
But what we do is, we've done this last wee while, is either or questions.
Oh, right. I like that.
So quick run through, and you have to pick one.
Okay.
If you can't decide, you have to let us know why you can't decide.
Have a what?
If you can't decide, you have to let us know why you can't
Oh, right,
decide.
okay, okay.
Or I'll just challenge you on it.
Okay.
Right. So sand or sea,
Sand or sea? Sea.
red sauce or brown sauce,
Red.
apple or orange,
Orange.
poem or song,
Song.
shorts or trousers,
Shorts.
De Niro or Pacino,
De Niro.
France or Italy,
Italy.
Batman or Superman,
Oh, Batman.
white bread or brown bread,
White.
sweat or tears,
Sweat.
EastEnders or Coronation Street,
Oh, God, neither. EastEnders.
pizza or pasta,
Pizza.
long or hard. Now, I should clarify. I'm talking about the journey.
Oh, long.
Okay. Bono or the age?
What?
Bono or the age?
The age.
Laptop or tablet?
Laptop.
Flip flops or sandals?
Sandals.
Cheese and onion, salt and vinegar?
Salt and vinegar.
Radio or podcast?
Podcast.
Fucking, I was going to say you took too long there. Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Las Vegas or Bangkok?
Neither, but probably Bangkok.
Petrol or diesel?
Diesel.
Sofa or armchair?
Sofa.
Beef or pork?
Beef.
Cinema or theatre?
Theatre.
Sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Liam or Noel?
Noel.
Chocolate or crisps?
Chocolate.
Healthy or wealthy?
Healthy.
Cupcake or muffin?
Cupcake.
Deck chair or Yumz?
Which one's which? What are you joking?
Well, on that note, don't ever go fucking near Dollybird and
Both.
That was a diplomatic save there, but we know what you're doing. Emma Miller, thank you very much for
You're
coming in.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Go and take a look. You're online, obviously. You have your Instagram followers, so you're at
Emma Dollybird.
Emma Dollybird, and your showroom is in Oma Town Centre. Now you've had the whole podcast episode. What about your chair name? Are there rare chairs that nobody would know about? Because I'm not saying you're rare.
A Bergére.
A what?
A Bergére chair.
A Bergére chair?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! That has to be the name, right? How do you spell that?
Berge hyphen or fada, whatever you call it.
Gra-
R-E.
All right.
A Bergére. It's the one with the arms.
I like it. We don't know what the fuck it is, but we're going to find out what it is. We'll take a look. And everybody else listening is going, a what?
A Bergére.
Listen, I had to Google a Sibian last week, so don't worry about it. This one won't be as bad. Your Google search history is going to be safe. Emma, thank you very much for coming
You're
in.
welcome. Thank you.
And we will be in touch again. And thank you
See
again
you
for
soon.
our set. Thank you.
No bother.